Dustin's girlfriend and that whole arc in a second. But the main central focus I want to talk about is Dustin, Steve, Eddie, Lucas, Robin, Nancy, and I'm missing somebody else. I think it was Lucas. But
Robin.
Yeah. And so they all converge together now, and they're trying to figure out something. They're like, all right, let's figure out where Eddie's at. They found Eddie. He was at the Rock. Steve and Dustin kept on going back and forth like, yeah, I told you where it was. And Dustin's like, nah, that's impossible. Dustin gets a discovery, looks at his compass. He's like, his compass is going out of order. And that's a callback to the first season, because when in the first season, Lucas was like, yeah, there's something wrong with the compass. And they remember back from the science teachers, like, True North, like, wait, this is where True North is. So why is it going this way? And it was divergent because the portal from the first season was pushing them towards the lab. So the same thing's happening here. But it was different because he's like, it's got to be a small portal because this doesn't make any sense. Like, it didn't start affecting until right now. So it must be something close by. That leads them to the lake. But they don't know why. They just know that this is where the black guy died. And we saw at the beginning of this episode where the black guy died, like, it looked like there was like some tentacles coming up. And so I wanted to talk about like everything that ended on this episode. I think it was phenomenal. The way it was shot, the tone, the tension. I felt like they left on such a dope note that I was like, the build up for how this got to this point, how it escalated, how the characters interacted with, I think it was just masterful. I think that the way that the crew came out to this, it could have been its own episode outside of everything else that was going on in the episode in general. But I was curious y'all's perspective of what's going on with Steve or how everything's happening so quickly. I was curious y'all's perspective on this.
Sam,
that part.
They're breaking every single horror movie rule. I mean, every single one. Oh, let's go out here to this lake. It's dark, no lights. Oh, well, I'm a jump out and swim down there to the bottom. Like, oh, is that what you're gonna do? Oh, you just Michael Phelps now. You just gonna jump out the boat and swim to the bottom with your flashlight that you got in a trash bag. I was heated. I was honestly mad. I'm like, okay, y'all get too much plot armor now, because at some point now I just want you to take an L for being so dumb, right? But it was a very the scene was very beautifully shot with Steve when he sees the gate underwater. Right. It was that was some good shot.
The budget was not wasted on that shot at all.
Yeah, it was a very cool shot. Of course, then he's like, oh yeah, found the gate. Let me go back up and tell them about it and stay in the water.
No. To be fair, I gotta give it to Steve because I looked at the episode again. He did try to get back in. Like, he was kind of like, "Yo, I gotta get back in this boat, please."
No, didn't he do like, and he was like, all right, and he was like, too late. Like, he had a conversation on the side of the boat before, like he was
right.
Talking about, like,
he was slacking.
I guess.
No. After once, if I'm in a lake where somebody just got hemmed up. First off, I ain't gonna be out there. But second off, if I'm out there, I'm gonna be strapped into that boat,
right?
Seatbelt and all. If it get me, it's gonna have to bring the whole boat down like Jack Sparrow. You ain't.
So with that scene, Nat and Anthony, as soon as Steve got pulled down and he was going through. Did you guys feel the same exact way you felt with Max, that Steve is about to bite it? Or was it up until he was defending himself for a little bit and he started getting ate on? Did you guys start to feel like, dang, Steve might die? I was curious how y'all felt. Was it reminiscent of what happened with Max, or was it the same?
Similar but different. Only because, like, I knew that he was there with no weapon. And because we knew that creatures are there in the upside down, it was only a matter of time before they sniffed that he was there and be like, "Oh, food, great." Right. And then when they were starting to eat on him, I'm like, "Don't make me quit this show."
Yeah, you literally were like, "I hate you, Sam," and I was like, "What did I do? Like, you gonna bring me in because Steve is about to get eaten?" Like,
Yeah, they were like them compies from Jurassic Park 2. They were going in. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it reminded me of those little pterodactyls or that one creature that like hit. Oh my gosh, what was that guy's name? With the rattle.
Oh,
It reminded me
yeah.
of that too.
Oh,
But
Dennis.
yeah, I was freaking out just a little bit. I'm like, you can't do this to Steve. Not after all this.
I was
And I
like,
had-
It
get
was
him.
like
Get him.
everyone else was, I think, trying to go after him. So it was only a matter of time
Yeah.
before they also get
Get
there.
him.
Then what's gonna happen to them? They don't have no
Right,
weapons either.
I
Wait,
wanted
what?
him to get-
What? You got an issue with Steve?
Yeah, what did you got? Look.
Why you
look,
want Steve to get got?
Look, I'm
Sir.
sorry. I'm
He
sorry.
think he Aquaman.
Yeah. You want to do all that? I'm glad for you, Steve. They want to talk about your jungle and all that stuff. I'm good. Nancy about to jump in after it, and you know what? This is a reference to Dead by Daylight. They took Dead by Daylight off of the like all the Stranger Things off the Dead by Daylight DLC. And I was like, because Nancy and Steve get sucked into this world where monsters are killing them. And it's like, oh, I know why they took it off now. Because they doing this in real life. Get him. Just kill him. Everybody else get lost in that world, get deaded. Steve needs to go. But you know what's going to happen? Nancy's going to come in there. She's going to knock those little bird things off. They're going to have their
I was
plans for
about
their
to
kids.
say, they definitely set it up for a big rescue. Because, I mean, the moment he got sucked down, everybody jumped out the boat. Once again, that ain't me.
To be
That ain't
fair,
me. I'm gonna be waiting.
Eddie,
All right, y'all
once
go.
Again,
I'm gonna be waiting.
Eddie
I'ma go
once
get
again
help.
was put into
I'm
a bad
rolling
situation.
with
Eddie
that.
was like,
Eddie, yes,
I don't want to do
Eddie's
this.
defense.
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do
Yep.
this. And then he's like, crap. And he just, because for him, it was like these two girls jumped in for this man. I'm not going to be that one stuck in the boat.
I would be
I
the one
will.
stuck in the boat.
Well,
I'll never let go, Jack.
Well, okay, but he's in the lake.
We're ninjas. How about that?
Okay, all right, but he's in the lake. But if you can see, there's police cars on land, so he really had nowhere else to go.
No, he
Other
didn't.
side.
I mean, to be
Other
fair.
side of the lake. I'm not waiting there.
But this is the thing. They would have 3 bodies on him. No, 4, 5. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
5 bodies on him. Nah. He did better getting in the lake. Eddie, everybody did better getting in the lake. But yeah, as far as that side of it, I thought that the tension with that and the way that the episode ended, I think it ended strong. Irregardless, because this is the one thing that come to the back of my head. And I think we got to close out because we're running over time. Whoa. Hold on 1 second. My bad.
But one more thing, we probably need to talk about that mob mentality and the parents finally getting involved after how many seasons?
That boy is Gaston. That's what he is. He is Gaston.
Oh,
and when that bearded man jumped up and was going to walk away, he's like, what you guys doing? You hurt the kid. I was like, damn it.
Why are you listening to a teenage boy?
I don't want to give that dude that much attention.
Small town folks love a lynch mob. That's all I'm saying.
The reality is that everybody in the town is dealing with a serious amount of trauma as it is, and he honestly, he's one of those ones. If he survives this series, he's gonna end up being the mayor or the new sheriff or whatever, because he's choosing to vocalize his opinion, no matter how jaded and off it is, because nobody's making any sense. Nobody's actually talking about things that are obviously there. And so he's using his trauma to pull people and rally them behind. I think the same exact thing happened to, what was that last Halloween movie? Halloween Kills? The same exact joint happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are y'all listening to this dude? But people want to rally
Evil
behind
dies
somebody
tonight.
that'll say something. And I think that was the source. But I don't want to give him that much attention because, honestly, now it's like after what happened, like he was kind of like he's thrown off. Like I don't know where they take his character from this, so I'm curious to see where his character goes after this point.
In real life, natural leaders who are irresponsible with their gift of being natural leaders can weaponize people's fears and fear mongers and everything. Like we see it all through history. And as long as you can pinpoint an other, so you can pinpoint, he uses language like freak a couple of times. Like so, as long as you can pinpoint an other. And you can point everybody's fear and frustrations to get that out. Like people like that are always going to be dangerous. Mm-hmm. So that other mentality or that's what we're seeing, and it's not something new, and it happens in real life all the time. As long as you can point and say, this is the cause of your fears, this is the cause of your struggles, this is the cause of your pain, this is the cause of your loss. It's not your fault. It's their fault. It's not the government that you can't touch fault. It's these guys' fault. And they're so dangerous. They're so dangerous. We have to kill them. So, I mean,
yeah.
No, I'm with that because
he is Gaston. I mean, he really is Gaston, and it's just different because there is no Belle. I take that back. I guess Belle is the town. That's his.
I mean, this Belle, this was different. This Belle, I mean, she was there in episode 1, but this Belle didn't make it. She cracked under pressure.
So I have one final. I got one final question to ask you guys, and any of you guys can answer it because we're gonna end in like less than 3 minutes. Out of all the people that have gone into the Upside Down, I got presented to one of you guys last night. Out of everybody that's gone into the Upside Down, anybody that while in the Upside Down has been in physical contact with any of the creatures in the Upside Down, have they ever survived? Or have they come out with it unscathed?
Nope.
I don't know anybody that has been in contact while in the Upside Down with any of these creatures that have come out unscathed.
If they came in contact with the creature, they ended up messed up. Because I mean, when in the tunnels, when they kind of even sort of came in contact with the upside things that were upside down-esque, even that like gas or whatever sprayed them in the face, and they almost got taken over by the vines. And then it does not end well for anybody that comes into contact with them. And so I'm interested in seeing just how much plot armor they get.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm curious. Even if Steve survives, I don't know if he will, whether or not he's going to come out it unscathed. I feel like Steve's at a really interesting impasse because if Steve survives, I don't know what they do with the character Jonathan. If Steve doesn't survive, I don't know if that happens with the character Robin or the character Nancy or even Eddie in the backdrop. But I really feel like there's going to be this season, whether in volume 2 or volume 1, there's going to be a consequence of all this. And I feel like they're such interestingly good characters. Like Steve and Robin's relationship on paper really shouldn't work, but it does. I'm all the way rallied behind them, irregardless if they get in a relationship or not. Eddie is a new character. I love Eddie. Like, I want him to stay, but I don't. It's too good. And every time you gravitate to a good character, they die. Like, case in point, in the past.
And you bring up a good point too, Sam, because if we think about it and who this main villain is this season, if one of them doesn't make it out, think about how that's going to make all of the other ones feel. And that might be an end for Vecna, considering how he operates on trauma and all that. If something were to happen to one of them, all of them in that group are going to be shook by it.
Wow. Dang, I didn't think about that.
Right.
But again, what ultimately is his end goal? And are we going to know what that is by the 7th episode or even by the end of this season?
Hopefully, because I feel like
your face, Sam. Okay.
So I remember one of the actors or actresses slip it up and saying something in one of the interviews about it, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. Okay.
I think something has to happen to one of these main characters for them to take it seriously. Because they're not the kids anymore. They're not the little middle schoolers anymore. They're the high school. I said this last time. They're the high school age. You don't follow one of the rules, you get murked type of thing. And I think to even Dustin, whenever we go on him, he still treats it like a game. He's untouchable. His poor friends are untouched. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Well, on top.
But But let's be real though for a second, because we're really about to end now. It's right at the hour. But realistically, if Dustin died, the internet would be shook. Let's just be real here. If say hypothetically speaking, right? Dustin just did it.
But if Will died, nobody gonna care. If Will died, no one's really gonna care.
I'm sorry. One of these kids. If Dustin dies, I promise you, people are gonna be messed up about it.
No, but if Will, Jonathan, there'd be some turmoil with Steve. But ask one of these core groups. It could be Nancy. Nancy could go.
If we don't watch,
gotta go for it? Why somebody gotta die?
If we don't watch these little kids grow up just to get crunched by Vecna at the end of this season, I swear, we done gone through COVID just to watch this happen.
It'll be the Arya Stark thing all over again. I don't want to see her have sex. Yeah, I don't care if she's old. I saw her when she was a baby growing up.
Oh my God!
I swear,
it's like who's going to
go through all of this just for Will Byers to get crunched up into a pretzel?
I mean, but who is really going to kick it to enough where it's going to be like really an impact and it not make other people mad, like, or as mad?
Will was barely in the first season. He was kind of like the Hangover crew, the guy that was stuck in the building. He was kind of the crew, but he wasn't really part of the crew as far as we were concerned. Then he came back. He was kind of the problem.
Season 2, he was a whole problem. He had a lot of issues season 2.
But the thing about the Duffer Brothers is they find ways of adding characters in and making them important. Like, because honestly,
like Eddie.
I mean, even taking Max in the last episode, like, they found a way of making her, like, if she would have died, honestly, all you guys said, y'all been hurt. So if they can do that, they can do it with any of the characters. I put my faith in them. But anyway, we got to end. Hope you guys enjoyed our discussion.
Max safe. She the only redhead on the whole show.
How about this? They're not going to ginger sign her. So I think she's good.
She ain't safe yet.
They can't lose Lucas either. I'm sorry, because we already got enough.
Right.
We can't do that. We cannot do that.
Speaking of Lucas, bye everybody.
It has echo cancellation and automatic adjust mic on. So I think it's just the wrong jack. So let me just try the jacks.
Okay.
Ooh, Elizabeth. Okay, so did you get anything related to Becoming Elizabeth that's going to be on Stars in June?
I can't say because we're literally live right now.
Okay, I'll ask in the chat about that.
Gotcha.
Still an echo?
Yep.
It is, but it'll be okay. We'll work with it. It's okay. Wait, I think it just went away. I don't hear it anymore. But then now I don't hear him.
Yep. Nope. He's gone.
The upside down hasn't. So this is weird. So it's that I can't hear it. Like his audio, I hear him, but I can barely hear it. So it's coming through the microphone. It's just low for some reason. Which is fine. Because we're short on time anyway. So we'll make it work. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely cut a lot of these behind the scenes. This is what we have to cut out. All right. Nah, you're good, dude. It's all good. We can still hear you really well, but we're gonna have to work on it a little bit later. All right. So I am gonna start us off, and remember, you guys, this is for episode 5 and 6. So we're gonna work together, everybody. Partner your notes. If something you don't remember and don't have an issue like I did last time, talking about something that was for episode 5, for episode 4, we're gonna be good. So I'm gonna go ahead and count us off 3, 2, 1. Here we go.